I'm back here in English, guys. We're showing you 10 and Centinela. Sounds like the vehicle just came to a stop, so we'll continue on so we can get some images of the termination. But kidnapping
Oh,
suspect
sorry.
chase just coming to an end here on the
Oh,
10 freeway in Centinela.
you just missed. You guys just missed everything. I was singing and doing all good stuff. Sorry about that, guys. There was a police chase. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it's on right now. I think it's over.
Just past the 405.
I was just told about it, and now I think it's over though. Now, I was told about it like an hour ago, but I couldn't get on. So here I'm trying now, see if it's still happening, but
just past the 405.
it might be over. Have you guys heard about the police chase? Anybody?
Yeah, they just took him into custody, but it's a kidnapping suspect, so we should continue in.
You guys, do you guys hear the sound on the girl talking now or no?
Yeah, they just took him into custody, but it's a kidnapping.
Yeah, you hear it. It's on.
The child is not in the vehicle. So for those of you just joining us, we're approaching the termination of a police pursuit in the area of the 10 freeway in Centinela. That's just west of the 405 freeway. This was the LAPD's Newton Division that was in pursuit of a possible kidnapping suspect. And I just heard them say that the victim, the child, is not in the vehicle. So at this point, unknown where that child may be, but the suspect is now in custody. We are going to approach the scene. We'll get a little video of it. So you guys can see what that looks like. But again, one person has just been taken into custody here on the westbound side of the 10 freeway, just west of the 405. Traffic is being held back here by CHP. So, of course, anything near the 405 freeway, you know there's going to be instant delays. So, big backup already forming just west of the 405 freeway. And we're about to come overhead. We can show you that termination. Several lanes taken away, 2 right lanes there to be exact. And the suspect vehicle there in the gore point for the Centinela off-ramp. The vehicle looks to be smoking. That's probably the reason this person pulled over so willingly here at the end.
Where is the kid's snapchild? They said it was in the car. What? Where the kid's snapchild says they're in the car? What are you talking about? What does that mean? Did they get it? Did they catch anybody? Did they run away? Did anybody know if the people ran away or what? Anybody know? What happened?
Once again, if you're just joining us, this is the termination of a pursuit. LAPD's Newton Division, a kidnapping suspect. It looks like the car just started to catch fire there. You see it smoking. Probably the reason why that person pulled over there in the gore point of the Centinela off-ramp for the westbound side of the 10 freeway. That person just taken into custody. I have not heard yet if that is a male or a female suspect, but the victim is not in the vehicle.
I don't know. I don't know if this is a story.
Child.
Wonder Matters.
The police said to notify DCFS that The child was not in the vehicle. The circumstances leading up to this are unknown at this time, but again, that driver took off and led officers on a chase from Newton Division, which is essentially South LA.
Is this the same story as you're talking about,
LA, right
one juror?
The 10 and the 405 freeways. We do have a slight delay here on the westbound side of the 10 freeway.
Angel Eyes, how you doing?
From it would be like Barrington Avenue Gateway, kind of near Bundy, over to the interchange with the 405 freeway.
Imagine getting on that highway now? Oh my God.
Showed you that earlier pursuit as well. LAPD's Hollenbeck.
Everybody, what's up? Doc Bones, what's up,
Falcon? That vehicle came to a stop
how you doing?
under an overpass. We saw them take one person
Ray,
into
Ray,
custody,
what's up?
and as far as we know, they're still searching for another individual as well. But that's going to do it here for us from News Chopper 4. Again, I'm Leon Marino alongside my pilot George Marciano. Thank you very much for watching. We hope you can tune in for the NBC4 News at 11 o'clock. See you then.
All right, well, I guess it's over. It's over. It's over. Good. Now I can watch my trial. Let me see. I want to see which trial I want to watch. Where's that trial I wanted to watch? Kind of want to watch this video too. Susan Morphy's body found in the boneyard dump. Husband didn't do it. Yeah, right. Sure you didn't. Sure you didn't do it, buddy.
What a long and twisted and...
Sure you didn't do it. ICE searching for suspect accused of ramming agents in Texas. Oh, my God. Somebody's ramming agents. All right, now where's the court? Oh, here. Is this the court? Is this it? Where's day one? Day one. Let's see what they got to say in day one.
Comes in? No. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and bring the jury in.
Guys, I want to hear the opening statement. I got a lot of things to watch, guys. I got a lot of shit to watch. Well, I got to watch the court TV as well. I'm all over the place. Hold on. You know what? Before we do that one, let me watch this one.
Intriguing is based on the fact that he has spent a career doing investigations at, I think, a little higher level than the guy who goes out and commits a robbery on the street and it turns into a homicide.
No. Do we know more about him?
Well, he was sort of a tax investigator for years and had not been in law enforcement until, I want to say, just a couple of years before this. But to respond to the...
I don't know.
Au pair's testimony.
It's bringing her. I don't know. It's crazy her. That hurt. Like, I don't know what was that.
I'm lost.
Okay, so you live here?
I'm Venice. Au pair.
You're an au pair? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It was a lot of blood.
I guess that's the first time the law enforcement knows that she's the au pair in the home who ends up pairing up with the widower shortly after all of this happened. Let's get back to Court TV field reporter Cody Thomas. All right, Cody, what's going on right now with the au pair?
What case were you at?
Well, Vinny, one thing we do know about the au pair is that her story has changed over the last few months. We know the nuts and bolts of her original story, of course, because we've seen that body cam footage. We've seen the initial interactions with police. She's emotional. She's talking about this random car she saw outside of the house. Let's take a look at a portion of that body cam to revisit that initial story.
Then I saw this car, French car, and I called her, why the car is here? And then she said, wait for me, I'll go there. Don't go inside of the Valorant. And then he came back here, and we went inside. And then we went upstairs first, and then I went to see what's going on. And Brendan said, police dropped the knife, because he had a knife. And then he said, drop the gun to Brendan. They were yelling. I couldn't understand. We were super fast.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Michael Tingley, thank you very much for your 60-month membership, man. Hey, Madam Olifano, how you doing, Michael? Thank you, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Let me see if I can try to get you some water. Yeah.
So, Vinny, remember that, this all happened in February of 2023, but she wasn't arrested until October of 2023, about 8 months later. Now, when she finally sat down with police after that arrest, that story flipped. This is according to the Washington Post. It says, quote, in October, Perez Magalhaes sat down with police and prosecutors and provided a lengthy statement recanting the claim of a home invasion, court records show. She said Brendan Banfield had planned the killings and arranged for Ryan to appear at the house with a knife as a result of online discussions the two men previously had. Now, Vinny, in that police interview, the au pair described Brendan allegedly coming up with the plan to kill Christine and what kind of fall guy they were searching for. Now, this video, of course, obtained by NBC4 in Washington, D.C. Take a look.
He said, that's not what I'm thinking about. And then he explained that he was thinking about finding a way to just get rid of her. Somebody that sounded like violent and was kind of playing the way he wanted the person to play.
I'm glad you're doing good, man. Glad you're doing
And then,
good.
Vinny, after that, Juliana strikes the sweetest of sweetheart deals. According to reporting by the Washington Post, it says Juliana Perez Magalhaes, 24 years of age, who had been charged with second-degree murder in the case, which drew international attention, pleaded guilty to a manslaughter charge. In exchange for her cooperation, prosecutors agreed to recommend that she be released on time served after the trial of her employer. So, Vinny, it seems there is, a slight coincidence here between when she's arrested, her story flipping, and when that deal gets made.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a coincidence or that's negotiation. At the end of the day, that is a sweetheart deal, and I'm sure that will be a big part of her cross-examination, or at least the beginning of a very intense cross-examination, which brings us to the next question in our investigation. Will the jury believe the au pair's testimony? As we learned in our first segment, she's the case. She is the prosecution's case. That's why she had to get a deal like that. They need her. All right, still with me, former Washington Post reporter Tom Jackman. Tom, you said it, she's the case. So now the question, will the jury believe her? This is a deal of deals, right? She finishes testifying, the trial's over, she's done. She'll probably head back to Brazil.
Well, she's going to get deported to Brazil. So, and she will have spent about 2.5 to 3 years in jail for involuntary manslaughter in a case in which she apparently conspired to kill a guy and has said from day one that she shot Joe Ryan in the chest. So Joe Ryan's family is extremely unhappy with this deal, but the prosecutors felt like they had to do it. They had to have her. They had to have her to make the deal. They had charged Brendan Banfield a month before, and they got her to flip. So I think one of the interesting things may be if the defense shows her original statement and then contrast that with her on the witness stand. So that gives the jury a whole lot of things to consider because she did a heck of a nice acting
What's
job.
up, Polka Dot?
Absolutely, right? You watch that body cam and she's in character. She's obviously shaken because two people have just been murdered, by the way, so that's going to shake her up. But the bottom line is she's lying through her teeth right here, according to her own latest statement.
Why is it boring, Cat Randall?
Statement. So,
and doing a good job. I mean, she's emotional. She's out of breath. She needs water. You know, she's troubled.
yeah, and her hands are actually, she literally has blood on her hands as she's giving that statement. So, Tom, as we think about, you know, the jury and how they're going to handle this, the only experience we have down there was the Johnny Depp trial. We did that a few years ago. And that jury, you know, that was a big credibility call. They had to decide who was telling the truth in that one, Johnny Depp or Amber Heard. They believed much more of Johnny Depp's testimony. So this really comes, because I don't know if he's going to testify. I don't know if Banfield testifies or if they just make her sort of the fall person for this and try to just undermine her credibility, that you can't trust her beyond a reasonable doubt. What do we know about her background? Is there anything else that might come up here in addition to sleeping with, you know, the child's father when you're hired as an au pair / nanny?
Well, we don't know of any problems that she had in Brazil. She came to this country at like 21 years old. There's ample evidence, as you're seeing, about her affair with Brendan Banfield. I don't think that's in dispute. My experience with juries is if you put a witness on who says, Mr. X did this murder, and the defense says, yes, but aren't you getting a sweetheart deal? The witness will say, yes, but I still say Mr. X did this murder. And the juries typically aren't troubled by the deal. They will say, okay, we believe this person. Now, here's the interesting thing. There's a whole nother video statement that she gave where she's lying. And so now there isn't just a deal. There's a previous time where she acted out an incredible charade of saying that they had interrupted Joe Ryan killing Christine Banfield for reasons we would never know, and that she then shot Joe Ryan. So it's a lot for the jury to digest. My experience is typically juries believe witnesses like this, but here they've got that other component of her lying on video to the police the day of.
Right. Let's bring in another guest. We've got with us former prosecutor, criminal defense attorney at Gelman Law. David Gelman is back with us. David, great to see you. What are your thoughts? Do you think the jury's going to believe the au pair's testimony? Because I think prosecutors need the jury to believe her beyond a reasonable doubt.
Vinny, you nailed it on the head previously when you said she's their whole case. So they're banking that the jury better believe her. And I kind of agree. I think that juries do tend to believe these co-defendants who cut deals. However, in this situation, it's not like a normal one, because she had a story in the beginning.
Why do you pay $12 to watch today? Why? Why $12? Why pay anything? They don't charge.
It was real good theatrics. And then she came and did a complete 180 when she was interrogated by the police. So that, I think, is going to be the $1 million question if you think about it. But at the end of the day, look, I understand this is the sweetheart of the sweetheart deals. I mean, I've never seen a manslaughter become a time served after a trial. But I do think that at the end of the day, the jury will probably believe her. She does seem credible enough for the jury. But again, defense attorneys, if I'm there, I am going at her all day long, because there is no way that I would let her get out of there unscathed.
Yeah, that is going to be the moment in this case. All right, Tom's going to stick around.
There is one thing, Vinny.
Go ahead, Tom.
Just that there is forensic evidence that the bodies were moved and that the bodies don't match up with their initial description of what happened. And also, there were some initial 911 calls by Juliana, and then there's nothing for 10 or 15 minutes. Then they call back again and say, oh, did we forget to mention there was a double murder here at the house? And the bodies are not where the blood, nothing matches with their description of the story. So there is some physical evidence to corroborate the prosecution's claim that these guys did it.
Absolutely need that. All right, Tom's going to stick around. David Gelman, thank you so much. I know we had some difficulty connecting, but I'm glad that we did. Still to come, were Brendan Banfield and the au pair planning a life together? And prosecutors say it was all a twisted plot by an armed IRS agent who wanted to share his bed with a young Brazilian au pair instead of his wife, the mother of his 4-year-old child. Here's the story.
Yeah, hot stuff.
Brendan Banfield, the former IRS criminal investigator, is accused of masterminding a twisted and calculated plot to murder his wife, Christine Banfield, inside their Herndon, Virginia home.
What a loser.
Prosecutors allege that Brendan, seeking to escape his marriage and pursue a secret affair with the family's Brazilian au pair, Juliana Magalhães, posed online as Christine to lure a man named Joseph Ryan under false pretenses of a sexual encounter. Once Joseph Ryan arrived, Brendan allegedly shot him in the head, then turned the knife that Joseph Ryan had on his own wife, stabbing her to death. The au pair, who later pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter, claimed she participated under Brendan's influence. Authorities say the murder scene was staged, but Brendan maintains his innocence. Was this a chilling act of betrayal, seduction, and premeditated violence fueled by lust and deception? Or is the husband...
She's not even pretty. The wife is prettier than the damn girl. That girl's ugly. The wife is prettier. What a moron this guy is. Wow.
the victim of a lying au pair lover?
Get out of here.
This trial just around the corner. It's getting ready to start.
Around the corner,
folks.
bro.
Let's bring in Court TV field reporter Cody Thomas. Let's talk about what is, you look at the whole twisted murder plot and then you get to the alleged why of it. So let's get into the relationship between the au pair and Brendan Banfield.
Yeah, Vinny. So this is where the lines start to get just a little bit blurred because there's this allusion to an affair, but then Brendan Banfield denies that. We do know that Juliana Magalhães moved into the house with the Banfields in October of 2021, about a year and a half before the killing of Christine took place. But Vinny, let's begin with an exhibit from court documents. Now, this is a photo of Juliana Magalhães at a gun range. Now, we know that both Brendan Banfield and Juliana Magalhães checked into their local gun range on 2 different dates in the months before the deaths of Joseph Ryan and Christina on October 29th, 2022 and December 23rd of 2022, both within 4 months of the 2 killings. Now, then we go forward. These are pictures of both of them on a trip to New York City. And these pictures are from January of 2023, a month before the killings. But this again just kind of shows they were a little closer than you would imagine a married man would be with a younger woman, right? A little close to each other. Then we have another picture of both of them in a hot tub. Another image showing just how, intimate these 2 were, even though this man here, Brendan Banfield, was married. Now, Benny, what I'm about to show you now.
That's messed up.
This is a picture of the closet belonging to the au pair. This is February of 2023. This is her room where she stayed in the house. And on the left, you can see we've identified a Brazilian soccer jersey along with another red piece of clothing, the soccer jersey matching her Brazilian flag hanging above her bed. Now we fast forward 8 months later, October of 2023. Of course, this is the month that she gets arrested. Now, those clothes are in a closet, but there's not the same closet. That's the master bedroom closet. We see we've identified again the red article of clothing and that Brazilian jersey. So, Vinny, in the master bedroom, this is after Christina's been killed. Now she's moved into where Brendan's sleeping in the house. Now we have this photo here of the nightstand by the bed. Now, we see the glaring photo of both of them on the nightstand, but Vinny, we've also identified some other things on the nightstand. We see the 2 water bottles here, presumably one belonging to Brendan, one belonging to her. And Vinny, we also identified one more thing on the nightstand, a bottle of lotion. Looks like it's Victoria's Secret brand. I don't know many men who wear Victoria's Secret lotion, but again, just showing how intimate these 2 were. This is just months after Christina, this man's wife, has been killed. Now, Vinny, as far as what the au pair is saying about the alleged affair, right? This is actually from reporting of Washington Post on behalf of her attorney. It says, in multiple hearings, Magalhães' attorney sought to minimize their relationship, saying in court that intimate encounters with the husband were casual and that Magalhães was on dating apps. So, Vinny, I mean, her attorney can downplay whatever relationship they had, but with all this, these court exhibits and these photos of them, it seems.
How you doing, Wild Dog? Welcome back.
Like it might be an uphill battle to try to disprove that an affair was actually going on.
Yeah, especially we got pictures before the wife is even killed. Wow. Wow. Thanks, Cody. All right, that brings us to the next question in our investigation, underlying everything in this case. Were Brendan Banfield and the au pair planning a life together? Right? Was the au pair going to step into the shoes of mom? Was already helping take care of the child? What was going on here? Joining me, East Coast contributor for Los Angeles Magazine, Lauren Conlin is with us, and clinical psychologist, gender, sex, and relationship diversity therapist, Dr. Lori Beth Bisbee. Great to see you both. Okay, Lauren, what are your thoughts here? Do you think, was it just a casual affair? Is it coincidental? Do you think they were planning a life together? How deep was this relationship from your perspective?
They're going deep.
Vinny, please. I mean, I was born at night. I wasn't born last night. I don't think the jury will buy into any of that. And look, very early on in this case, I believe it was 2024, the chief of police came out and said that the entire motive for these killings was because Brendan and Juliana were in a relationship. And the next step to a relationship is, of course, building a life together. So as we know, Juliana is going to be testifying against Brendan Banfield at this trial. And Vinny, I'm so happy this trial is finally happening. I feel like we've been talking about this forever, but she's going to testify against him. And her testimony has to be corroborated with evidence, and it looks like it will be. And let's not also forget that she was arrested well before he was. They definitely have jailhouse phone calls between the two of them. I'm sure something slipped, and I'm sure we're going to hear it. So again, I go back and just say, look, we're not dumb. Nice try.
All right, Dr. Bisbee, what are your thoughts here? Is this just, a guy going, he's not really middle-aged, but going a little middle-aged crazy? Oh, we got a au pair in the house, and all of a sudden he gets smitten crazy? Or do you think this was more of a long-term type of plan?
I mean, I think he got smitten and then made a long-term plan. I think one of the things we also need to be cognizant of is there was definitely an imbalance of power in the relationship, because he was the one who held the visa. He was the one who held the passport. So there was incentive for her to go along with what he wanted. But from the imagery and from some of the statements made, it seemed that they had developed a romantic relationship and on both sides harbored fantasies of some form of life together.
And Dr. Bisbee, just a quick follow-up to that. How do you think it goes from this torrid affair and transitions into this really twisted, alleged murder plot?
I think there were things going on in his relationship with his wife before all of this. I don't think we have the whole story. I don't think we know what was going on under the surface. It was in some ways too detailed for him not to have had any knowledge of the world that he was trying to create a fantasy of. So he had some knowledge of the BDSM world. He had some knowledge of what people did with these sorts of meetups. So I really have to wonder what was going on in their marriage prior to Juliana even being there.
That's an interesting take. Very interesting. Lauren, what are your thoughts? Do you think that Magalise, the au pair, do you think she was in love with this guy?
I mean, sure. Talk about an imbalance of power. Absolutely. And I had thoughts about this. I do feel like, and we know this.
Yeah, she was in love with the guy's money and his house. That's what she cared about. His house, the car, whatever, and the money he has. It's all bullshit. She didn't love him.
Because she's
he's ugly. That guy's ugly. That man's ugly.
Told us this, whether she's being truthful or not, but she did take some convincing to do this. She had said at one point she kind of wanted to back out, but she was told it was really too late. So I feel like he told her something about Christine to make her participate in this disgusting, elaborate, ridiculous plan here. I mean, I just don't see how Juliana would just say, oh yeah, that sounds good, without having some kind of foundation set. as to Christine, either, in Brendan's eyes, being deserving of this somehow, or I've also heard his defense attorney say some horrible things that, she participated.
That's the wife. That's a beautiful wife, right? That's the wife. She's a lot prettier than that girl. What a loser.
Participated with other men sexually as well. That's victim blaming, in my opinion, and she does not deserve that. But yeah, I go back to we don't know the whole story, and I think many people are very anxious for this to go to trial, so we can finally peel back the layers of what is most likely going to be even more complicated.
Yeah. Dr. Bisbee, what do you think that moment's going to be like when Juliana takes the witness stand? Do you think she'll be intimidated in the moment? Because that may be the first time that she's been back in the room with the man who she alleges set this whole thing in motion, a man that maybe she was planning to spend a life with.
If she truly has no history in courtrooms, yes, she will be intimidated. It's hard not to be intimidated, especially when you're giving evidence against somebody that you proclaim to have loved. So I would expect her to be intimidated when she takes the stand.
All right, great to have you both here, Dr. Lori Beth Bisbee and Lauren Conlin, LA Magazine. Great to see you. Thanks so much. All right, coming up next, will the defense say that Christine Banfield was actually the one on the fetish website?
Now,
So announced that.
So getting back to this plot, or this alleged plot, right? They're saying that Brandon Banfield, pretended to be his wife on this fetish website in order to make the connection with Joseph Ryan to set up this rendezvous for some rough knife play, role play, kinky sex in the morning, right? So let's bring back in Cody Thomas, Court TV field reporter.
Yeah.
Is there any evidence that it was Christine Banfield that was the one on this fetish website, not her husband pretending to be her?
Well, Vinny, not exactly, but there were a couple of detectives who believed that theory to be true. Now, according to reporting from the Washington Post, they say Banfield's defense attorneys took aim at the impersonation theory in court Thursday, arguing Fairfax police commanders reassigned 2 detectives who thought some evidence suggested Banfield's wife was the one sending messages to the man who died alongside her. They go on to say, but a summary of the case written by Detective Brendan Miller last year repeatedly describes the online conversations as between Ryan and Christine Banfield, and it states, quote, there is no indication that Christine lost control of her devices during the 6 weeks before the slayings. And Vinny, of course, this reporting refers to a previous hearing in the case. The case summary says there was no indication Christine was actually the one on this fetish website, but of course we'll have to see what the defense strategy comes out of this case once they actually go to trial here.
Yeah, and that trial is going to happen very, very, very soon. All right, Cody Thomas, thank you so much. That brings us to the final question in our investigation this hour, and it is, will the defense say that Christine Banfield was actually the one on the fetish website? Are they going to argue that? Still with me, former Washington Post reporter Tom Jackman, and joining me, criminal defense attorney Danny Rubin. Great to see you both. Tom, I'll start with you. Do you get the feeling that the defense is going to kind of lean in on that and say, no, it wasn't the au pair that was doing this? It obviously wasn't our client. It was Christine herself who was into this role-playing fetish stuff?
I don't think she was. I don't think that's true.
Absolutely. I mean, the defense has subpoenaed virtually the entire homicide unit from the time this case happened because there's this great, difference of opinion. The lead homicide detective and the lead computer forensics detective did believe that Christine was the one, while their bosses are saying, you're crazy. It was the husband. This difference of opinion between the commanders thinking that Brendan Banfield did it and the lead detectives saying that Christine Banfield lured this guy to the house led to A, the detectives being booted off the case, and B, a hostile work environment complaint being filed by the detectives against the commanders because of this clash over did Christine do it. On top of that, an anonymous letter was sent to the defense last year, which alleged that Christine Banfield was into this BDSM stuff, and that was how this all unfolded. That letter was sent anonymously to the defense. They've never figured out who sent it. It came from the Banfield's hometown in Long Island. It just planted another seed that maybe Christine actually did it. There's still no explanation of why Joe Ryan, who's never harmed anybody in his life, would go to a house thinking he's having a sexual hookup and kill the person he's there to have a sexual hookup with.
Right, that's a great point. That is a great point. All right, Danny Rubin, what are your thoughts here? This is, this is new territory for us here on Court TV. I've never seen anything quite like this, the allegations in this case. Do you think that's where the defense is going to go? And if so, how do you think it plays out in the courtroom?
I think that's certainly where the defense is going. For one reason, they want to show a lack of premeditation. They want to sort of reduce the severity of the killings here. They could be making arguments that this is a manslaughter issue. They could be making arguments that the murder wasn't perpetuated by their client, by Brendan. But I think the significance in going after and poking holes in the prosecutor's theory here is that he's showing the divide between the lead detectives and the commanders. Now, this is something you don't see every day in court, where the police officers are actively taking a stand to what it seems like provide the truth on the stand, which is going against what their supervisors or commanders are saying. They obviously are doing that at great personal and professional expense. As it's shown, they were transferred shortly after. There are other reasons why that transfer may have happened, sure, but it seems pretty uncanny that they would transfer these detectives, or this detective, this lead detective, Brendan Miller, shortly after taking a stand against his commanders. Yeah. It would be
very
so
unusual.
much easier.
Very unusual. Danny Rubin, great to see you. We'll have more time next time. Appreciate it, Tom Jackman. Great work. Hope you'll come back again and again as we continue to.
Let's watch it. I'm going to go into the trial, guys. I'm going to the actual trial, see what happens. Let's go. We'll go back to the news on tomorrow night.
Keep your attention and ask you to please remember that your job here is to listen to the evidence. Keep your attention and ask.
Comes in?
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right, let's go ahead and bring the jury in. For the seats you'll be in for the duration, okay? All right. Opening statements from the Commonwealth?
Just a moment, Judge. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate that you all came back. I know yesterday was a short day. Today might be a long one, and you're in for several more following that, but we'll try to keep your attention and ask you to please remember that your job here is to listen to the evidence, right? Take notes if you need to. Follow along with the details. There will be many, and then be thoughtful in how you consider this evidence when it's time to deliberate. We're here today because Brendan Banfield, the man seated behind me, killed his wife, Christine Banfield, and another man named Joseph Ryan. Those two individuals had no reason to know each other, but for the plotting and planning of Brendan Banfield. Christine, back in 2022, was 37 years old. She was an ICU nurse working at Inova Fairfax. She was married to Brendan, who was then 38, and they had a daughter, 4-year-old Valerie. Christine worked odd shifts. She was a nurse. If any of you know what nurses' hours are, She could work nights. The schedule was irregular. It didn't occur with a 9-to-5 pattern. So regular daycare was not an option for the family. They hired an au pair, Juliana Perez Magalhães. She was from Brazil. She was 22 years old when she joined the family. She provided care while Brendan traveled for work and Christine worked her nurse's hours. The family lived in the Reston area of Fairfax County at 13230 Stablebrook Way. You'll hear that address referenced. You'll see pictures of the home. You'll have the opportunity to understand what the layout of the house was, as it is very relevant to what happened in February of 2023. Taking you back, in August of 2022, Brendan began an affair with Juliana. Initially, it was just sex when Christine was at work or asleep, but eventually it developed into a relationship. They went on dates. They went to bars, clubs, dancing. They went on romantic bike rides.
What?
By the fall of 2022, they were fully in love, planning their future.
Oh my God.
On a trip to New York, Brendan revealed his desire to get rid of Christine. Divorce was not an option for him.
Why not?
He didn't want to lose custody of Valerie. He didn't even want to share custody of Valerie. He thought Christine was a terrible mother. He wanted her out of the picture.
Wow.
And he convinced young Juliana, 22 years old, not from the United States, living in his home, in love with him, that they should get rid of Christine.
Wow.
He talked about hiring a hitman, finding someone to kill her for money. But he was concerned that that would tie back to him, that there would be too much evidence against him and that he could end up at risk. So they crafted a plan. They would use Christine's email accounts to create a fake profile to lure someone in who was into kinky sex, violent sex. And they would get this guy to come into the house and fake rape Christine. Brendan would be the hero of the day. He would show up, kill the guy, kill his wife, pretending that it had been that guy.
Oh God.
That was the plan. They put it into action. Brendan created a FetLife account. If you're not familiar with it, it's a social networking app for people interested in fetishes, sexual kink.
Yeah.
He posted this Christine.
I'm learning something new already. That's crazy. You got some crazy stuff out there. Oh my God. Fetish apps where you pay people to come have fun? Wow.
Seeking fulfillment of this stranger rape fantasy. He and Juliana spent weeks chatting with potential victims, searching for just the right guy who would follow Brendan's plan to a T. Because remember, this plan hinged on several things. Christine never knowing that it existed, and Christine never being expected to meet with her potential fake rapist. In this community of people, there weren't many takers for such a risky plan. It had red flags all over the place. But by January 24th, 2022, Brendan had found his target, Joseph Ryan, posting as Taco Supreme 7000. Joe engaged in friendly conversation with who he thought was an attractive woman new to kink. Brendan, posting as Christine, spent a month creating this relationship with Joe that would eventually lead to Joe's murder. Meanwhile, other things were going on to prepare for this murder.
Look at this guy.
Brendan bought Juliana a gun and took her to the shooting range to teach her to shoot. Brendan had Juliana help him test out the soundproofing of the new windows that had been installed at Stablebrook Way. By the time this plan was ready to be hatched, Joe was fully on board. He had not questioned any of the asks of him. He had continued to engage in this relationship and appeared to be the perfect willing victim. Brendan created the narrative that Christine desperately wanted to be raped. Posing as Christine, he told Joe what to do. Come to the home in Reston. The door will be unlocked. Christine will be asleep in bed. Come straight upstairs, cut off her clothing, tie her, rape her. Simple and fun. That was how it was posed. Joe was willing to follow these rules that Brendan set out posing as Christine. They would not meet in person beforehand. Joe's phones would be left in the car. Joe was to bring a knife zip ties, chains. And most importantly, he was not to stop. Even if she looked terrified, even if she was calling for help, he was to follow through because that's what she really wanted. On February 24th, 2023, Brendan Banfield's birthday, the plan was put into action. Knowing that Christine had the day off, Brendan and Juliana arranged a fake outing for the zoo a fake outing at the zoo for Valerie. Juliana and Valerie packed a lunch, prepared for this fake outing. Christine, still in bed, asleep, at 6 a.m., Brendan takes her phone and Valerie downstairs. He chats with Joe to confirm a 7:20 arrival for the execution of the fake rape. And Brendan then disables the door lock, preventing it from automatically locking, turns off Christine's phone, and puts it in a drawer in the kitchen, where she couldn't possibly find it to call for help when she finds an intruder in her home.
Damn.
Brendan leaves the house, followed shortly by Juliana. Brendan drives to a nearby McDonald's. Juliana waits in the cul-de-sac. The plan to give a call out to Brendan as soon as she sees Joe. Valerie's in the back seat, and Juliana has a gun in her pocket. When Joe arrives, Juliana calls Christine's cell phone first to create a record of a fake warning, even knowing that the phone is turned off. She then calls Brendan to let him know that Joe is in the house. Brendan leaves the McDonald's, drives directly to the home, meets up with Juliana, and with Valerie in tow, they re-enter the house through the basement. Juliana, nervous, screws up the plan and calls 911, too early.
Oh my God.
She hangs up as soon as Brendan's giving her the signal that this wasn't the plan. They leave Valerie in the basement. They sneak up the stairs to the bedroom where they hear Joe Ryan and Christine. Brendan enters the bedroom first, shooting Joe in the head, picks up the knife that Joe had brought, and stabs Christine repeatedly in the neck.
Oh my God.
He directs Juliana to shoot Joe a second time with her gun. This time the bullet enters Joe's chest. With Christine dead or dying, Brendan spends the next several minutes manipulating Joe Ryan's body, in the process leaving Christine's blood on Joe's hands and pants. Juliana calls 911, this time as scheduled, to report the intruder.
Wow.
And Brendan tells the police, I shot him, he stabbed her. You'll hear all of this from Juliana, but we're not asking you to believe her alone. You'll hear from witnesses and experts about all of the evidence that corroborates the facts presented. You'll see the FetLife chats. You'll see the Telegram messages. You'll hear and see the phone call details. You'll hear the 911 calls where Brendan admits to shooting Joe. You'll see body-worn camera video from the responding officers. You'll see photos of the crime scene and the physical evidence collected. And that's where you should focus your attention. Because while Juliana presents us with the narrative, that story that we wouldn't necessarily know but for her details, it is the blood evidence that you can rely upon without a doubt. The blood cannot lie. And the blood puts Brendan Banfield standing over Christine, stabbing her in the neck until she died. With that evidence, we will ask you to find Brendan Banfield guilty of these murders, the associated charges of neglecting his child, and of creating a danger for her in that home. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sands. All right. Defense, you're...
I think I can probably see that.
No. Yes.
You do.
Crazy. Well, let's see what type of evidence they got and witnesses.
Sam's.
To make all the banging noise. Green.
Before the arrest on February 20th, murder of Christine Banfield. Have to look at certain saying things for in terms of. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we had a long day yesterday, and we talked about a lot of the issues that would possibly come up, and they're going to come up today in terms of the story that the Commonwealth just told you, and what I think you should be looking out for in terms of the evidence. There's some interesting things that, in order to assess, first of all, what they're saying, and second of all, the evidence that's going to be before you, is you have to look at certain timelines. So the murder of Christine Banfield by Joe Ryan occurred on February 24th, 2023. The arrest of Juliana Perez Magalhaes took place in October of 2023. She was held for nearly another year before she made the statements that are the full and complete support of what the Commonwealth just told you. And she did that because the Commonwealth decided that they were going to give her something certain. They were going to give her a plea of guilty to a manslaughter, which is a lesser included offense, and guaranteed time served upon her testimony here today or tomorrow or whenever that testimony is. You're going to hear a timeline of events and evidence that you'll have an opportunity to look at, where she was arrested in October of 2023, and the whole reason she was arrested was to flip her against my client. You'll hear that evidence from someone other than her and other than me. And they tried, and they tried. In a correspondence that she wrote to my client on January 1st, that was given to him, she says, they want you. All they want is to get you in this case. They want me to say things that aren't true. They want me to say things that I did that aren't true. They offered me a misdemeanor. She declined a misdemeanor, facing second-degree murder at the time. And then as the case went on, it became very clear that they wanted him so badly that they were willing to do anything. They made offers, not as good as a misdemeanor, but as time went on, for a manslaughter, suspended time, but she had to testify against Brendan. You'll hear there were at least 4 or 5 times during that year leading up to Brendan Banfield being charged, where they came to her, they went through her attorney, and they offered that deal that she now stands to have taken. Now, why is it that she wouldn't have taken that then? Well, we heard in the first instance, she said, they're asking me to say something that isn't true. And so let's look at another timeline that I think is appropriate. After she was arrested, she had a preliminary hearing in April of 2024. And you'll see communications that show real anxiety in terms of what was going to happen. After the preliminary hearing, then the first trial is set for July of 2024. Her attorney continues the case against her will. There's correspondence that says, I want her to go forward. I want her to show my innocence. Continued it to October, I believe. No, to November 12th. During that point in time, she'd lost trust in her attorney. She lost hope because he was the only person for someone who was thousands of miles away from her home, from her family, from the people that supported her. She lost hope in the person who was there to represent her. Whether that's true, whether that's right or not, I don't know. But what you'll see in this timeline that I'm going to create for you through evidence is that she was upset, and she said at one point,
Cat Randall, stop exaggerating, Cat Randall.
I can't believe he continued this case. I didn't want that. I don't want that. I just want to go forward. He better not do that again. We go through a period of time into September. The stress and the anxiety starts to really ramp up for her. Approaching her November 12th court date. My client gets arrested. In her mind, she loses even more hope because he was the person who was on the outside who she really was depending on. They had an affair. You're not going to get any disputes from us. But he played a role, a supportive role to her while she was in jail, while they tried to do their little experiment on what would she take in order to come forward and tell a story. You'll hear in October, she went for emergency surgery, had a gallbladder surgery, spent 2 weeks in the hospital. And soon after she got out, she received word that her attorney was going to continue the case again because he needed to get a digital forensics examiner in order to review the evidence. That hadn't been done up until that point. That was the last straw. Whatever deals that had been rejected, the most recent time was September 30th. Whatever deals had been rejected, she was in for now. One of the deals was suggested by her attorney after he was upset with her, after she was upset with him in July. They get together, they arrive at this, and they have a recording of the questions that they're asking her during what they call the recant. You're going to hear some of those recordings. Now, any of you who have any sort of investigative roles in anything that you do, when you're talking to someone who's deciding to flip, you don't just take their word for it, you challenge them. Investigators challenge the statements that are being made. And so October 25th marks the first day that statements were made. Many of you may have seen that because it's showing up on media. And you hear someone asking her questions and then she answers those questions. Well, what we're going to be able to show you is that those answers are wrong based upon other evidence that we have in this case. But no one ever challenged her. No one ever questioned her. And so in order to have this narrative and this story that you received, Juliana Perez Magalhaes is at the center of all of it. She's going to talk about where the gun was at one point, and then I think in the next recant she says it was a different situation with the gun. She said she ran into the bedroom and used the combination on the safe to get the gun, and then she had it been given to him by, or it was given to him by Brendan Banfield. I'm sorry, given to her by Brendan Banfield. You're going to hear there are significant differences in many of the things that she's providing to the Commonwealth, some of which are changing even up to most recent prep sessions, which we had access to, of December 30th. So the question will be, what's the final statement? I think we're all going to get that. But you're also going to see what she's done all along the way. Now, the Commonwealth used her for their case. I understand the situation that she's in, and I understand the fact that she's away from home and she's young and she's dependent on people, and she's also depending on the Commonwealth. And they've put her in this situation. And she's accepted it gladly, and I'm sorry to say, many people would. But it's the devastation that causes when you ask for that kind of testimony to be included in your case. Now let's just talk a little bit. Jeremy, just get a sip of water.
Oh my God, how crazy.
Sorry, a little dry mouth.
Dry mouth.
Let's just talk a little bit about some of the other things that are going on in this case. And I think you'll find this through the evidence. So what essentially, and you may have heard it in media, is there's a theory called catfishing. And catfishing, for those who don't know it, and people more experienced and more expert than I will be able to tell you specifically, essentially is assuming the devices of someone in order to get something done, is the easy creek. There's probably more sophisticated explanation for it. But what they're saying is Brendan Banfield assumed his wife's devices, his computer, her phone, any other devices, in order to take on take on her persona in order to invite this gentleman, Joe Ryan, in. Catfishing is a theory that requires a conclusion that Christine Banfield gave up her devices. The Commonwealth's experts have concluded from the moment that the devices were examined and extracted that she did not give up her devices. And so then started the turmoil within the police department that I think is going to come out here. I doubt it'll be in the Commonwealth's case, but there were people within the command staff who were trying to change what the experts said about Christine Banfield's devices. They were trying to say that Christine Banfield did give up these devices or was away when those devices were being used. But you're going to have a conclusion that was from the very early moments that she had not given that up. Now that's significant because all of the things that Juliana Perez Magalhaes has talked to you about is inextricably intertwined with catfishing. And so you're going to hear evidence from their expert witness. You're going to hear evidence from an expert witness that I have that concurs in their expert witness's findings. And in the world of digital forensics, there's a saying, digital forensics doesn't lie. People lie. And there are going to be plenty to see. You're going to see manipulation within the police department where if those that wanted the catfishing theory, if the lying homicide prosecutors, homicide detectives didn't agree with this theory, they were transferred. When this case started, there were 12 people in the homicide squad. As this case goes to trial now, there's only 4 of those 12 there. Important ones that were removed in part because they didn't agree with the people that peddled the catfish theory. The lead homicide detective, the digital forensics detective. And this was back in late 2024. I don't know how many of you are familiar with criminal prosecutions and investigations. I was a prosecutor myself here in Fairfax. I've never experienced a homicide investigation where the lead homicide detective was moved prior to a trial. Digital forensics, I probably aged out of digital forensics, but that's a very important aspect of this. So I couldn't say personally whether that would have happened back in my day, but there are factors here that I think that haven't been brought forth by the Commonwealth. And in my efforts at presenting evidence, I'm going to be trying to bring that to light. As I indicated, there are serious timelines. There's a vulnerable person who's open to pray for what it is that they need. And I would respectfully suggest that Juliana Perez Magalhaes is the linchpin to all of that. Now, ultimately, it's the evidence. It's not what I say. It's not what the Commonwealth says. But I say these things to you so that your ear is ready, because you're going to see a presentation of a horrible, tragic, awful event for everyone involved. And there's no disputing that. And as I said earlier, we're not disputing, you won't hear any dispute as to the relationship between Brendan Banfield and Juliana Perez Magalhaes. But there's an awful lot more to look for, ladies and gentlemen, and that's what I'm asking you to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Carey.
Yay.
All right, the first witness stands.
First witness, we're ready. We're ready.
Judge is going to be Alicia Dale. Thank you, Ms. Priscilla.
We had spoken to your
We'll see what happens, guys.
Okay. We don't have it as of now.
Okay.
Well, you know what kind of computer is that?
Say I was going to say, just turn it this way. I think the camera angle.
Is that, do you want to use mine?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. Does this come up?
You guys ready for a trial? Hopefully it won't be that long. Maybe a couple of days, I hope. You know what I mean?
I'm going to first ask you to state and spell your name for the court record.
My name is Alicia Dale, A-L-I-C-I-A-D-A-L-E.
And what is your occupation?
I'm the custodian of records for the Department of Public Safety Communications in Fairfax County.
And how long have you been employed in that capacity?
Since May of 2021.
Can you explain your duties and your responsibilities in that position, please?
I am to maintain the records within the custody of our department, whether that's retention, disbursement, or destruction.
And can you explain the 911 call system in the Fairfax County Police Department and how it operates?
Once a call is placed, a 911 call is placed within the confines of the Fairfax County, the telephone system actually routes it to the corresponding public safety answering point, and we are that within Fairfax County. The call is then dispersed to a call taker and it's processed.
And is the recording of each call each call taken, is that recording made in the ordinary course of business and then maintained for a period of time?
Yes.
And are these recordings created when the call is made?
Yes.
Is it part of your job to keep and maintain these recordings?
Yes.
And were you asked to pull recorded calls made on February 24th, 2023?
Yes.
At this point in time, I'm going to ask Madam Clerk to display my screen to the witness and to counsel, but no one else at this point. Judge, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the court to, I'm going to move these in as Commonwealth's Exhibit 1, 2, and 3.
It's an outgoing call at 7:49 a.m.
Okay. And then looking at Commonwealth's Exhibit number 3, we see that that is 8:02:05.
And that was a 911 call received, answered at 8:02 a.m.
Okay. Thank you. At this point, Judge, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the 911 calls.
All right. I need a police officer with my yeah. What is this going to sound like? Oh my God.
This is one.
911 call.
February 24, 2023, 7:47:32.
Fairfax County 911, where's your emergency? Hello, Fairfax County 911.
February 24, 2023, 7:47:39.
Hello.
And this is 2.
24, 2023, 7:47:49.
Come on, 911. What's taking so long to pick up a phone? Holy shit. Supposed to be emergency. 5 rings?
Please leave your message for 57142621112.
Hello, this is Fairfax County 911. We had a call from this number. If you have an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. This call was named error. You can disregard this message. Thank you.
That's a 911 call. I thought that was the people. I thought they were calling 911, but that's 911 calling the person that just called. Oh. Never mind. My bad.
February 24, 2023, 7:48:40.
That one dramatic. That was 911 calling them back.
This is 3.
24, 2023, 8:02:05.
Fairfax County 911, where's your emergency?
I need help. My friend, she just was stuck in the knife now. She's bleeding a lot. I don't know what to do anymore.
Okay, where are you located? What's your address?
Oh my God.
Take a deep breath for me. Just let me know your address. Okay, 1-3. Take a deep breath for me. You're on Stablebrook Way? Are you on Stablebrook Way?
Yes.
What's your house number?
It's what's the number of this?
Is there somebody else there that can give me the address?
13230 Stablebrook Way.
Okay. And what's your name and what's going on?
My name is Banfield. I'm a federal agent. This is my house. There's somebody here. I shot him. But he stabbed her. She's bleeding. She's got several marks on her neck. What do I do?
Okay. So what I need you to do is apply direct pressure directly to where she's bleeding from, okay? And if it becomes soaked, just add more cloth to it. It's already there. How old is the person?
I don't know.
The person that's bleeding?
37.
Okay.
How do you know how old he is? How do you know his age? Come on, get out of here.
Okay, so the person that you shot, where is he?
I don't know his age.
I don't know. I don't know him.
Okay, where is he though?
How old? How do you know
He's
how
here.
old
He's
he
on the
is?
ground.
How do you know how old he is if he doesn't know?
Okay. Okay. And the person that he stabbed, where are they now?
Right,
Are they
Cat
still in
Randall,
the
go tomorrow, Cat.
I have rescue coming to you.
Please, it's my wife.
Make a video.
What ended? So they
Cat Randall, make a video.
to know what to do.
Okay.
Is this what ended?
I have rescue coming to you.
Please, it's my wife.
Is this what ended? So they to know what to do.
Okay. So I want you to get a clean cloth and apply direct pressure to where you're bleeding from, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you the one that's bleeding? Just keep applying pressure. Don't remove it. If it becomes soaked, just add more cloth to what is already there. Do not use a tourniquet. If one is already on, don't remove it. And don't throw or flush any blood-soaked items, okay? And, sir, I need you not to touch the weapons or disturb the scene at all. And don't touch or remove any impaled object, okay? Sir, hello? Ma'am, can you hear me?
Let me.
Okay. Are you the one that was injured?
She's not responding.
Well, one and one. He's living.
Okay. Can you tell me how her breathing is?
I don't. How her breathing is.
She's heart's still beating. She's
Okay.
still breathing.
Okay. Just keep applying pressure to where she's bleeding from and just put her on her side, okay?
On her side?
Yeah, on her side. You said she's breathing normally. She's just not responding to you?
She's got a very big hole in her neck.
Okay. Just keep applying pressure, okay? Just keep adding more clothes that's already there. And who am I speaking to? Who are you, dear? Are you?
What?
Okay, so who's the person? Where's the person that's bleeding? Where are they in the house?
They're upstairs.
Okay.
In the bedroom.
Okay, and where is the person that was shot? Are they also in the house downstairs?
Yes.
Yeah, this is in the bedroom too.
Okay. Okay.
Can you send help, please?
Yeah, they're on the way. They're coming to you now, lights and sirens, okay? And any weapon is secured, correct?
Again?
Any weapon is secured?
I have the weapon.
Okay, can you just leave it where it is?
Yeah.
Okay. And you say you don't know the individual that was shot?
No.
No, whenever things the person.
And sir, where are you? Are you taking care of the person upstairs?
I'm trying.
I'm trying, but
Okay.
it's just so.
Crazy.
Okay, I have officers that are pulling up outside, okay? So just make sure the weapon is put placed where it is and it's secure, and just keep applying pressure. And make sure your door is unlocked. Can we make sure that's done?
All right.
Okay. And if there's any animals, please make sure they're put away.
I'm up the door.
Okay. I'm gonna lock the door. Okay. What is it again?
Okay, so make sure your weapon is down, sir, and that you're coming to the door with your hands up so the officers can see you.
Okay. I'm locked.
Okay, and the weapon is down?
you there?
Yes, can't run. Sit in the front next time.
Are you there? Yeah, I'm still here. Are they coming?
Sit behind the
Yeah, they're on
defendant.
the way. You should see them soon. They're pulling up outside right now.
Sit behind the
Let me know
defendant,
soon
bro.
to see them, okay? I just sit for them? Mm-hmm. You should be able to see them soon. Huh? I hear them. Okay, so are we? Okay, and no one has a weapon, right? The weapon's down?
The weapons are down.
Okay.
The weapons are down.
I hear them. Okay. They're pulling up outside. Just keep applying pressure to where she's bleeding from and just make sure she's okay. Okay. Get away from this. It's okay. Okay. Let me know if the officers are with you. They come here? Yeah, they're pulling up now. They're gonna make their way to you. Mhm. Okay. I'm showing them outside.
That's sad, man. That's crazy what happened.
I'm here.
Wow. It's fucked up. They killed that poor kid,
I'll go and
man.
disconnect with you.
Wow.
Speak. Okay.
The wannabe guy is going on a date.
It's right here. We need help. It's up here.
Here, on the back.
He's about to kill. So, you just, this is going on. My God.
February 24, 2023, 8:10:38.
Judge, I don't have any further questions. Mr. Carroll may have some questions.
Cross-examination.
No further questions, huh? Wow. Okay.
Ms. Dale, I've heard that before, but when I was listening now, it appeared that there was a lot of typing going on. Do you know, was that typing verbatim what was being said to the dispatch?
Verbatim, no.
Okay. Do you know if the dispatcher typed what my client said, that he was a federal law enforcement officer and that he had shot someone who was in his bedroom? Do you know if they typed that?
I don't remember exactly what was typed into the CAT event as far as what was surmised from the phone call.
Would that be part of the records that you're the custodian of?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall if it was typed in what he said, which was that he stabbed my wife in the neck?
Objection. I don't think that was what was said, and we can listen to the call.
What's your legal objection, please?
Seems facts not in evidence.
Overruled. Go ahead.
Was that transcribed?
In the actual event?
Yes.
I would have to review the record.
Okay. Did you review the record this morning?
I reviewed the phone calls.
The phone calls. Okay. So an additional review would be required to know what was sent out that was typed to the by dispatch.
Correct.
Okay. I don't have any further questions, Your Honor.
All right, redirect.
No redirect, Judge.
All right, is this witness subject to recall?
Not by me.
Is she subject to recall, Mr. Carroll? Okay, ma'am, you're free to go. Thank you. Have a good day. Your next witness?
Judge, it's going to be Officer Hugh, Justin Hugh.
I'm gonna start picking my own. I'm gonna start picking my own people. I want to hear from. You guys want to hear from a cop, or should we hear so we can pick somebody else? Let me see how good he is.
Yourself by telling us your name and spelling your first and last name for the court record.
Justin Hugh, Justin. Last name Hugh, Hugh.
And how are you currently employed?
I'm a detective with the Fairfax County Police Department in the Child Abuse Unit.
And how long have you been with the Fairfax County Police Department?
Almost 4 years.
And when were you assigned in February of 2023?
I was patrol in Reston.
And I'm going to direct your attention to February 24th, 2023. Were you on duty in uniform and displaying your badge of authority that day?
Yes.
And did you respond to a call for service that morning?
Yes.
What was the call for, if you recall?
The call was for somebody that had been shot and then somebody else in the residence had been stabbed.
And where did you respond?
I responded to area 521, which was my patrol area.
And where is Patrol 521?
It's in Reston. It's kind of near the town of Herndon.
And is that a location in Fairfax County?
Yes.
Is your uniform equipped with department-issued body-worn camera?
Yes.
And how does your body-worn camera work?
You click it twice in the middle and it activates the body-worn camera and starts recording.
And then when you are done with your shift, what happens?
We dock it at the station where it will upload everything is recorded for the day.
And was your body-worn camera working properly that day?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as Commonwealth's Exhibit 4, and I have I've got my computer muted, so we should only see a picture.
All right.
I would ask if we could just have that for the stand, the defense attorneys, and the witness at this point. Do you recognize this exhibit?
Yes.
And how do you recognize it?
It's my body-worn camera from that day.
And have you had the opportunity to review this before today?
Yes.
And is this a fair and accurate depiction of what you did and saw as you responded to this call for service that morning that you described earlier?
Yes.
Judge, at this point, what I'd like to do is admit this as Commonwealth's Exhibit 4.
Any objection to 4? All right, 4 in evidence.
Judge, I am going to ask if we could have this displayed to the jury, the witness, counsel, and the stand only, not on the screens.
Not in the gallery.
Not in the gallery.
Okay.
And there will be sound.
Okay,
But
that's fine.
Well, I got voices inside. Let's do something quick. Stack up on me, I guess. County police, call out! Where's the gun at? Where's the gun? Alright.
So, you just get out. This is so loud.
Anybody else downstairs?
No.
Where's the shot person?
His daughter is downstairs. She's just.
Who else? Just us?
Yeah, she just ran out. His daughter.
Guns on the belt.
They're saying
one of the patients is outside now. Give me the blow. Alright. We got him.
Can you turn the lights on in here?
Yeah. Give me a, what can I do to help? Chest seal, give me a chest seal. Yup. Bring it up. Anything I can do to help? What else was she stabbed? Right on the stab. Tank, come here. Got something on her hand. Okay, got something. There. You get it there. Stand right here. Yes. You got multiple stab wounds to the neck. Secure those guns. Ma'am, I need you outside now. She's breathing.
What do you need?
Get medics in here now.
Get a chest seal.
Seems cold for medics. Who shot? He grabbed my arm. Who did? He grabbed my arm when I started applying. Okay. Someone get with him. I don't know when he shot at. Who's that chest wound seal? I need it from the back right now. He got stabbed by him, so someone watch him. Guys, chest seal. Now. We're looking for it, buddy. We're looking for it. Get called. Get called out.
Here's Gauze.
Up this way.
Here's
Upstairs.
Gauze.
I need chest seal on her and I'll get
Wounds
the right now. Just stay right there. Stay right there. There's another one behind me. Open this up the longer. Yeah, I can't do anything with this right now. Go. Can't do anything with this right now. Someone check the pulse of the guy behind me.
Yeah.
He's breathing, so.
We got one guy up here, gunshot wound, one female, multiple stab wounds. Okay.
Can someone do this for me? I got one hand kind of tied up now. Up this way. He's in the bathroom, up here. Where you at, Cecil? On my neck. Multiple stab wounds on the neck. Ready? Let's do that. Go for it. Ready? Go for it. Ready? We missed one. Trust us. Give us one. There's another half. Ready? Go for it. Yep. Hold it down. Let's work on her. Sit in the top. Sit in the top. Sit in the top.
You need another chest seal?
Yeah, whatever we have. Hey, get another. ALT, get more block kits.
Carmine Bravo, Carson County 4.
I don't know.
Is he shot in the head too?
No, shot in the chest.
That's a lot of blood. Looks like it's probably from a lot. They're looking for K9 or Hilo at this point. K9 10. Yeah, they're right there.
Securing firearm.
Just leave it. Just leave it. Alright.
Tank.
Yep.
Since we got this kind of wait for the medics, can you talk with him? Shoot him.
Stand by 1 second.
Medics expediting, or where are they at?
I can feel him.
Guys.
Breathing.
Hey, do you have a pulse on him?
No.
No pulse on him.
CPR on, go ahead.
Multiple stab wounds.
CPR on him.
Yeah, if you don't have anything, start going.
All right, we got medics
Who's
over
most viable, you guys know?
She is.
Alright.
Multiple stab wounds to the neck.
James, where is he? To the right, we have a pulse, multiple stab wounds. To the left, either do CPR or the gunshot wound. Alright. Who's still breathing?
We have prayer. Multiple stab wounds to the neck.
This is bomb.
Don't know if we actually have it.
Don't know if it's one on the other side.
Okay. Is he still
Put it right
breathing?
there.
You can feel blood moving.
You
You can stop doing CPR on him. Yeah, we're gonna get her.
He's gonna be here way over there.
Yeah, this. She's breathing over here. She's breathing. That's why we're. Zach, grab him. Take him downstairs. You can't feel pulse? It's hard to feel. Are you hurt? Stand by. Sorry. Nope, there's no pulse, dude. No, there's no. What do we need?
I think that guy's gonna be definitely be away from the shot. I mean, we can. I think that might be obvious over there. Just here.
This is my house. This is my wife. I don't know who.
No. What do you want to do? Do you want to grab that and go?
We're done. No, this is. She's done.
All right, that's fine. You want to get a rhythm on that?
Yeah. You want to shot it? It's right there behind you.
I got one right
You have it? Okay. All right. Where is
Hey,
Justin,
Yeah.
grab the guy out there, get him down, don't let him.
All right. Wait, is that not bombers? I don't know.
This is not bombers, it might be his,
There was two on the bed when I came in.
Okay.
Okay, this one's got blood on it.
All right.
So stay with him, he might have, I'm not sure if he shot the guy to stop him.
Sir?
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm going to wait till they're done getting her out of the way before I'm willing to walk over.
You don't know that guy at all?
Smash that like button, guys. Smash that like button, guys.
Yeah.
Please.
Trying to figure out, where's the gun currently? We have two firearms right here. Leave them right where they are, that's where we found them.
We moved them away.
Alright, that's fine.
They were on the other hand though. Yeah.
Were you more?
Yeah, let's.
Hey Sarge, do you want us to escort him outside? Stay with, okay. So,
Okay. I'm not sure. We're not working. But I'm getting them out.
So once they.
Sorry.
Alright.
Move her and go?
Yeah.
Alright.
Get you downstairs. Hey.
Alright, we're gonna move them.
Very closely, we're gonna escort him down.
I can't believe the other guy died.
Yeah, nice.
Remember the other guy died?
Is there kids down there? Zach? No. Kids are out of the way. Kids are outside. Of course, we're gonna clear the rest of the house. Don't worry about that. Okay.
Just grab them out.
You wanna go with it, that's fine. Zach, stay here. You're with me. We're gonna check the rest of the house.
I'm escorting him down.
He's gonna say, we're gonna make sure no one else is hurt in the house. Okay, alright. We're gonna get husband downstairs. Alright.
Just for the record, we'll admit that under seal, Commonwealth's 4.
Understood. Let's talk about what we just saw. When you entered the house, we saw one officer ahead of you. Were the two of you the first two officers to enter the house?
Yes.
And when you came upstairs to the bedroom, did you see any unsecured firearms in the room?
Yes.
Can you tell us how many?
2.
And can you describe the unsecured firearms that were in that room? Did you know anything about either one of them?
One had a flashlight on it and the other one did not.
Okay. Did you handle either of the unsecured firearms?
The one with the flashlight on it, I handled that one.
And what did you do with it?
I moved it twice. The first time I moved it just from the corner of the bed to in front of me, and then the second time I moved it to the other side of the bed near the other firearm.
And did you know anything about that firearm when you were handling it?
There was blood on it.
And Judge, at this time, I'm going to show Commonwealth Exhibit 5 and ask that, and it's going to be a still photo, just to witness and counsel.
Okay.
It's not the greatest picture, but. Okay. Is this the firearm that you handled?
Yes.
And is this the position that it was in when you entered the room?
Yes.
Can you describe the position, what we're looking at here?
The gun is in the bottom right corner of the bed. It's pointing towards whatever's kind of behind me.
And when we're talking about the bottom right corner of the bed, are you standing at the foot of the bed facing the headboard, or are you? Okay.
Yes.
And Judge, I'd ask to admit this as Commonwealth Exhibit 5.
Any objection?
If we could publish that to the jury.
In the gallery.
I don't know why I didn't show anything.
Got it.
It's not showing anything.
And when you handled this firearm, did you have gloves on when you handled the firearm on February 24th?
Yes.
And when you left the bedroom, where had those two firearms come to rest, this one and the other one?
On the left side of the bed. If I'm facing the headboard, that's where the last place I saw them at.
Okay. And then when you, the rest of your morning, when you left the bedroom, who was with you?
When I left the bedroom, I was with Officer Beckner. I believe there's another officer walking down the stairs with us, and Mr. Banfield.
And where did you go?
We walked outside, and then we took Mr. Banfield to an ambulance.
And when you got to the ambulance, what, if anything, did you take from him?
A jacket that he was wearing.
And what did you do with that jacket?
I held on to the jacket, and then Detective Falk, who's a crime scene detective, showed up, and then I transferred custody of the jacket to him.
And I'm sorry, you said Detective Falk?
Falk.
Is that O.J. Falk?
Yes.
After you left the defendant's company that day, did you remain at the scene? Did you go back into service? What was the rest of your morning like?
We remained at the scene for a while outside, didn't go back inside the house, left the scene for a bit to do other things, and then I ended up coming back to the scene and stayed there until the end of my shift, just on the outside of the house.
I don't have any more questions for you. Mr. Carroll may have some questions.
Cross-examination.
Max. Next witness.
Good morning, Officer Hugh.
Good morning.
Were you right after Officer Gibbons as an arrival on the scene?
When I walked into the house, Officer Baumler was the one in front of me.
Officer Baumler?
Yes.
But Officer Gibbons was in front of him, is that correct?
No.
When was Officer Gibbons there?
He would have walked in behind me at some point. I don't remember when.
Okay.
Eventually, there was like a stack of us that all went in. I don't remember the exact lineup.
And I understand, but Officer Gibbons was the one who was in the bathroom with my client, correct?
Yes.
So when you saw, when you walked in, you observed my client rendering aid to his wife, is that right?
I don't recall what I saw when I first turned into the room. I know he was in the room. I don't remember the positioning though.
Okay. Do you recall Officer Beckner arriving?
I remember Officer Beckner coming in the room.
Okay. And were you present when Officer Beckner started, getting chest seals and chest compressions and things like that all of you were doing?
Yes.
Okay. And did you observe, according to Officer Beckner, a panic attack on my client's part?
I wouldn't really know. I wouldn't say a panic attack. I would say I witnessed his behavior.
Okay.
I don't know how you exactly would define a panic attack. I didn't think of it. I didn't think it was anything super.
His words, not mine.
Yeah.
You observed, but you observed my client, correct?
I did.
And around that same time, Officer Beckner reports that some firefighter was kicking items on the ground. Let me see. Kicking the blankets near Joe Ryan, and he was advised to stop by Officer Beckner. Do you recall that?
You're welcome.
I was told about what a firefighter did after, but I never really witnessed that in the moment.
And I understand, I mean, it's a fast evolving situation, but that's what I wanted to find out is if you had recollection of it, but you were told thereafter?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you arrived on scene, Christine Banfield was breathing, correct?
I never touched her, so I don't know.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you.
Were you aware based on what people were saying regarding her condition?
Listening to the body camera footage after, yes. It sounds like someone was saying that there might have been breathing or there was breathing, but
Okay.
I don't have direct knowledge.
But the firefighters ended up connecting her and actually found a pulse, right?
That I don't know. I know they found something, but I know there's like electrical readings I've had on other scenes.
Was that not what we just watched on that they actually connected her up to whatever device the one firefighter was saying?
They did connect her to something. I don't know what, I'm not versed in what machine they would have connected her to.
Okay, and I'm not asking you to be an expert on this. I'm just asking you as the person on the scene what you observed.
Yes, the firefighters worked on her.
Okay, they were tending to her.
Yes.
Okay, that's probably the best way to say it without knowing what exactly they did.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And then while you were there, or at least that's what your body camera video shows, they secured her and they brought her out of the house, correct?
Yes.
And then, I'm sorry, I thought somebody was saying something. And then after she was secured and out of the house is when, how long after that was it when you and Officer Beckner and my client all walked out?
I'd say pretty shortly after, I would guess a minute tops.
Okay. Now, in terms of I guess that's the exhibit number 5, and I just keep pointing over here because that's where I saw it, but it's not there. That was a screenshot from the body-worn camera, is that right?
Correct. The picture of the gun they showed.
Do you want to show them the picture again?
Yeah, I can't judge. I better.
You have to get it back on the screen.
I don't want to mess your.
Okay.
Do you see that?
Yes.
And is this your body-worn camera?
Yes.
Okay. And did you take any actions to prepare this screenshot?
No.
Okay. Now, do you know where this gun was before it was sitting at that situation that's shown in the picture?
No.
Okay. And I think you said after that, you know it was moved to the left side of the bed, correct?
Correct.
Do you recall who did that?
I moved it.
You moved it, okay. And then if I understand your testimony correctly, you then got involved in the scene and then you ended up escorting my client out, and that was the last that you were in this room?
Yes.
Okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Redirect?
I don't have any redirect.
All right, is this witness subject to recall?
I don't think so, Judge.
Is he subject to recall? All right, sir, since you are subject to recall, you cannot discuss this case with anybody and you cannot look at anything from this case, okay? You're still a witness, so the rule of witness is still on you at this time, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You are free to go today. If they need you, they will contact you, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, thank
Okay,
you.
Bye.
All right, do you have a short witness or is this a good time for a morning break?
Judge, this is probably a good time for a break.
For a break?
Next witness is going to be
All right,
a
if you're gonna break,
smooth one.
next witness.
Ruston District Station.
And is that a location within Fairfax County?
Yes, ma'am.
No, wait, no more cops. Let's go to someone else. Who's this?
Upon activation of emergency lights and sirens,
Another
firearm
cop-
being
another
removed from the
cop?
holster, or a taser also being removed from the holster.
And upon arriving at that location, what'd you do?
Another cop.
I grabbed a blowout kit or a medical bag from my police cruiser, grabbed that, ran up to the residence, where I was instructed that the medical supplies were needed up in the master bedroom of the residence.
And did you respond to the bedroom?
I did.
And what did you see when you went into the bedroom?
At first glance, I saw a female that was nude. She was covered in blood, laying on her left side, with a gentleman standing over her with bloody hands. There was an officer rendering aid to her, and then multiple officers surrounding the bed, gathering medical supplies.
And do you recognize anyone from that scene here today?
I did.
Who?
The defendant.
And can you point him out and describe something that he's wearing in his hair color?
What appears to be a black suit, brown hair.
Judge, I'd ask the court to recognize that Lieutenant Gibbons has identified the defendant.
All right, the record will so reflect.
And when you went into the bedroom, what did you do?
I immediately opened the medical bag. A chest seal was requested from the officers, so I opened that up, immediately applied pressure and the chest seal to the female.
And did fire department personnel ever arrive?
They did, and they relieved me from rendering aid.
And what did you do after the fire department arrived and relieved you?
Because it was a crowded space with a lot of people, I went into the bathroom, which was where the defendant was.
And what did you do in the bathroom?
I stood there, kept him separated, and spoke to him briefly for a few minutes.
So you had some conversation with him?
I did.
And what did you ask him?
I asked him first if he was injured, to which he replied no. And then I asked him how long they had been down.
And what was his response when you asked how long they had been down?
He said, I followed up that question with, since you called, to which he replied, she called. She had to find her phone. My hands were covered.
And did he ever ask about his wife or Joe Ryan?
He first asked, does he have a pulse? To which I believe I replied, I'm not sure, or I don't know. He did follow up with, is she breathing? Or is she going to be okay? Was what he said.
And did he say anything about his daughter?
Later in the conversation, it was mentioned that there was a child in the residence. He did ask about her, and I advised him that the au pair had gotten her out of the house.
And how long do you think that your conversation lasted with him in the bathroom?
Not more than a few minutes.
And what happened after the two of you spoke in the bathroom?
After we spoke, the fire department was carrying the female out of the residence. So I had two officers ready to escort the defendant out, to which he started to become upset. And we waited a minute so he can collect himself. And then they escorted him outside of the residence.
Okay. At this point in time, I am going to ask for Commonwealth 10 to be displayed to the witness and to counsel only.
Why them only? Why not everybody?
Up here. Where do you need chest seal? He's on the neck. Multiple stab wounds on the neck. Ready? As soon as I let go. Go for it. Ready? Go for it. Ready? We missed one. Listen, chest seal. Get another one. There's another half. Ready? Go for it. Yep. Hold this down. Let's work on her, okay? It's just fucking hold pressure. Just sit in the tub. Just sit in the tub.
You need another chest seal?
Yeah, whatever you have.
Just whatever you. Hey, get another. ALT, get more blowout kits. Is there anything else that we know of other than this?
This one and the guy behind me.
On this female.
I don't know. I do not know.
No,
we're gonna have defense wounds to the hand, but.
Everybody's account probably from K9 or Hilo at this point. K9 10.
Yeah, they're ahead.
Securing firearm.
Just leave it. Where it is.
Tank.
Yep.
Since we got this kind of wait for the medics, can you talk with him? Shoot him.
Stand by 1 second.
Medics expedite.
Do we have a pulse on anybody?
I can feel him breathing.
Do you have a pulse on him?
No pulse.
Okay, so we have one.
CPR on, go ahead. You CPR on.
Yeah, if you don't have anything, start going. Start doing.
Alright, who's the most viable, you guys know?
This one apparently has a pulse.
Alright.
Multiple stab wounds to the neck.
James, where is he? To the right, we have a pulse, multiple stopping. To the left, you hear the CPR with gunshot.
I felt the pulse when I was holding that.
All right.
We have multiple chest seals on the neck. We don't know if we have them right here. Multiple stab into the neck. Chest seals.
Yes.
Don't know if we actually have them.
Don't know if it's one on the other side. We don't know. Okay, she's still breathing?
We can feel blood moving. We can see her. We can see her cheek.
You guys good? Yeah, we're gonna get her.
Okay. Get them. You do this.
Yeah, this. She's breathing over here. She's bleeding.
You're good.
That's why we're moving her.
Him. Take him downstairs.
You can't feel both?
Are you hurt? Do you have any injuries?
Sorry, I don't think so.
You don't know? Okay, just stay where you are. Stay where you are. Nothing?
So what's the story?
Do you live here?
This is my house. This is my wife. I don't know him.
You don't know him? This is your wife.
The other woman is our au pair, Nanny.
Where is she?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. How long have they been down? It's right there.
How long? Right when you called us?
She called. She had to find her phone. My hands
Okay.
were covered.
All right. You're gonna stay right here with me until we get this sorted out a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
You don't have any injuries that you know of? Okay, all right.
He doesn't know. That's your wife. This is my wife.
Yeah, so he's... yeah.
You don't know that guy at all?
I don't know. He's a shooter.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just trying to figure out, where's the gun currently? Leave them right where they are, if that's where we found them.
We moved them away.
All right, that's fine.
They want to
Just...
yeah.
Where do you want... Yeah, okay, you know what, sir? Just have a seat. We're going to close these doors. This way they can work, if you guys are good right there.
Hey, Sarge.
What's up?
You want us to escort them outside?
No, right now they're working, so we're just gonna let them work.
Does she have a pulse?
I'm not sure. No, working. Okay. Okay. All right. So once they,
Is she gonna be okay?
we're gonna let them work for a minute. We're gonna let them do what they need to do. We'll just get you downstairs. Hey, Stefani, or Hugh, very closely. We're gonna escort them down. Just don't touch anything. Just, let's let them. Sorry. Let them go first. I thought they were gonna.
Is there kids down there? Kids are out of the
My daughter's here. I don't know.
I think the operator got her out.
Don't worry about that. Just grab the monitor. We'll go with it, that's fine. Zach, stay here. You're with me.
Hold on. What are we doing here?
We're gonna make sure no one else is hurt in the house.
Okay, all right. We're gonna get husband downstairs.
All right, guys.
Give me a second. Yeah. Have a seat. Just write down. Write down. Have a seat. He's starting to lose it a little bit. Hey, boss, can we get one of you guys to check him out?
Yeah, I got more units here. We'll check him out.
He's starting to break down a little bit.
If we could terminate the view. And then at some point after the view that we just saw, did the defendant leave the bedroom?
He did.
And who was left in the room with you when he left?
First, it was 2 personnel from the fire department, and then a third joined us.
And when you were in the bedroom after the defendant had left, were there any firearms, unsecured firearms in the room?
There were 2 unsecured firearms located on the bed.
And did you make any observations about the state of the bedroom when you were speaking with the firefighters?
Yes, I noticed a man stated that the blood appeared to have been there a while. It appeared that it had been soaked into the carpet, started to dry in certain areas. And then there was a specific location near the female that appeared to be clotting or clumping together.
I don't have any more questions for you. Mr. Carroll is going to have some questions for you.
All right, cross-examination.
Officer Beckner, do you know, or Lieutenant Beckner, sorry.
Lieutenant Gibbons, sir.
Do you know what order you were there from the FCPD?
For the record, Lieutenant Gibbons, and I do not know.
I'm sorry, Lieutenant Gibbons. I apologize.
Okay. First handful, 5 or 6 maybe.
Okay. Do you know who the first person was?
Top of my head, I do not.
Okay. And so you essentially at the moment you got in, you took over kind of custody.
Yo. Yo, Cat Randall, where are you, Cat Randall? Is that you, the bullhead guy? Are you the bullheaded guy in the back over there, Cat Randall?
Or observation of my client, correct?
So I took command of the scene inside.
I'm sorry, I can't.
I took command of the inside of the residence. That was my role.
Okay. And were you asked to do that?
No, that was my job as the squad sergeant.
Okay, so did you provide a chest seal or anything like that?
I did.
Okay, and then that's when you went into the bathroom and told him to sit on the bathtub and all those sorts of things?
Correct.
Okay, and that was,
Were you there on day one, Cat?
were you observing that he wasn't able to stand at that point? Or were you just saying, this is where I want you to be while this is going on?
So in a patrol capacity, my firearm is located on my thigh. And the stance I was in while rendering aid, my right thigh was directly facing him into the doorway of the bathroom. So to prevent any access to a firearm, as he was identified as the shooter of the event, but also it was a very crowded space. So I determined the tub was a safe location for him to be, either sitting in it, on it, outside of where we needed to work.
Okay, so he hadn't at that point experienced the issues regarding his legs that you saw later in your video?
Not that I had noticed.
Okay, you didn't notice that. Now, the dispatch told you that he was the shooter?
I don't recall.
Okay.
If it was dispatcher, I know officers on scene made comments or statements that he was the shooter.
Okay. Did any of those officers or people on the scene tell you that he was also a law enforcement officer?
He's a blonde chick, yeah.
I don't think so.
Did you notice that he had magazines on his belt or?
No.
Handcuffs?
No.
Okay. You escorted him out, correct?
I did not.
Okay. Who do you remember escorting him out?
It was Officer Hugh was one of them. And I don't know if it was now Sergeant Bell. He may have been the second officer.
Okay. Could it have been Officer Beckner?
Could have.
Okay. And were you aware that Officer Beckner in the ambulance took 2 magazine cases? I may not know the term. And handcuffs and a Garmin watch. Did you know that was taken from him?
I was aware that 2 magazines and a watch were removed. I was unaware of any handcuffs.
Okay. So when was it you were became aware of that?
Once he was in an ambulance.
Okay. So you didn't realize he was a law enforcement officer until well after the heat of the moment?
I don't think at that point I even knew he was a law enforcement officer.
Okay. And so is it fair to say dispatch didn't communicate any of that information, or would you have missed it if it was communicated?
There's always information that potentially gets missed, especially on a high priority call, where you're trying to get to a residence or a scene as fast as you can to render aid and try to save a life. So if they did, and it was voiced or written in a CAD, I did not notice.
Okay. And have you reviewed your CAD or any of those records from that day?
I've reviewed my body camera footage. I did not review the CAD comment, the CAD event.
Now, is the body cam footage that we just saw, is that a portion of it or is that all of it?
That's a portion.
Okay. And how many more minutes are there that we didn't see?
Without looking at the timestamp, a couple minutes.
Okay. When do you recall? So I think Ms. Bristler may have asked you about how the body camera works and how it gets started. How does it get shut off?
Excuse me. Usually manually, unless it runs out of battery.
Okay. Did you run out of battery?
No.
Okay. So manually you shut it off at some point?
Correct.
How long after the last scene we saw in that audio or video clip was it?
A few minutes.
Okay. No And would it have been, do you know where it would have been?
After the defendant was in an ambulance,
Okay.
and I was told that there were 2 magazines and a watch removed from this person.
Okay. And then you shut it off?
Correct.
Okay, I gotcha. Now, your observations that you made regarding the room, do you have training in those observations?
As a law enforcement officer, we're trained to make observations, take note of things that'll help investigators. I have taken numerous classes through our academy, one of which I don't know the specific.
Any or with another officer or anything like that?
Yes, I did. I told him that I believe the au pair had gotten her out of the house.
Okay, and you'd heard that from others?
Yes.
Did that seem to work with regard to him being upset?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Did that seem to work? That the fact that you said that he had broken down?
No, it didn't change his demeanor. It didn't make him happier, if that's what you're looking for.
Well, I'm just curious what you saw.
He was upset. He was visually upset.
All right, redirect.
Court's indulgence for 1 moment. He is not subject to recall for us.
All right, your next witness?
Judge, the next witness I have is Dr. Kessler, Your Honor. This is going to be a longer.
Why don't you approach them?
Next. Lunchtime. I think they're going to lunch.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, in planning the nature of the course of the evidence in the afternoon, we're going to go ahead and take an early lunch recess at this point from 12:30 to 1:30. That way we'll have more continuity with the evidence as it comes in today, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. Go back with the deputy. She'll give you all your lunch.
Where's Cat Randall? I want to see Cat Randall. Where you at, Cat?
Right.
Why do we allow IRS agents to carry guns? I don't know. Why do we let IRS agents carry guns? Why does an IRS agent need to carry a gun?
I have 2 other items. One of them is the technology. If we could make sure, and if you're going to use a document camera for the medical examiner, can you make sure that's up and running for your tangible evidence? And also whatever you need to do to get your technology, make sure it's ready before the jury comes in. I'd appreciate it. Other than that, one other thing is, I don't know how your evidence is going to go, but if you have sealed evidence and the snow sealed so we can take care of it.
That was Kelly stating.
7 was unsealed.
All rise.
Cat Randall, I don't see you, Cat. All right, let's go. Fast forward, and we're back. With the
Gallery, given that.
If they're not sealed, they go to the gallery.
We may just.
That's any objection to that? Okay.
Our next. Do you swear or affirm to testify truthfully in this case under penalty of law? Yes, I do.
All right, who's this?
Could you please state your name and spell it for first and last name for the court record, please?
Yes, Dr. Megan Kessler, MEGHAN, Kessler, KESF.
And what do you do as part of your job as a forensic pathologist at the medical examiner's office?
My primary duty is to complete autopsies to determine cause and manner of death and collect evidence and write reports as related to that.
And have you testified as an expert in the field of forensic pathology in a court of record before?
Yes.
And have you done so in Fairfax County?
I have.
Do you know how many times?
I'm not sure in Fairfax. Within the Commonwealth of Virginia, it's at least 50 times, and likely a majority are in Fairfax.
At this point, Your Honor, I would offer Dr. Kessler as an expert in the field of forensic pathology.
I have no objection.
No objection. All right, she'll be so offered. Thank you.
And did you perform an autopsy on the bodies of Joseph Ryan and Christine Banfield?
Yes, I did.
And prior to the performance of those autopsies, where were the bodies of Joseph Ryan and Christine Banfield kept?
After they arrived at the office of the chief medical examiner, they were intake and put into a cooler within our secure facility until the time of autopsy.
And before you performed each of their autopsies, did you break open the seal of the bag containing each body?
Yes, both bodies, the transport bags, were sealed with a wire seal through the zippers.
Before we discuss the particulars of each autopsy, did you prepare a report documenting your observations and findings?
Yes.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I am going to ask for Commonwealth Exhibit.
Yo, blue-eyed female, how you doing? Good to see you here, Blue Eye. Thanks for stopping by.
It's 11 and 12 to be displayed to the witness and counsel only. And I am also going to pass out paper copies to the witness, if I could, please.
You've seen these, Mr. Carroll, correct?
I think I have a copy. I just wanted to look at it. Thank you.
Right.
Marked as common.
Yes, may I scroll through?
Yes.
My handwritten notes from autopsy and a copy of the certificate of analysis, the toxicology report.
And now I'm going to show you Commonwealth Exhibit 12 and ask you if you recognize this exhibit. It's the other paper copy that you have.
Yes, there is a CME1 report of investigation, a copy of the death investigator scene report.
I'm sorry.
Body.
He had 2 gunshot wounds.
And where were those 2 gunshots for the physical evidence recovery kit?
Swabs and anorectal swabs. Also a sample of blood on a blood card and fingernail clippings. In addition to that perk kit, I also did swabs of the palms and the backs of the hands and fibers from one of the hands as well.
And what did you do with these samples after you finished collecting them for the physical evidence recovery kit?
I placed them in sealed bags and transferred them to law enforcement.
And can you describe for the jury what your physical findings were from the examination of Joe's body?
He had 2 gunshot wounds.
And where were those 2 gunshot wounds located?
There's a gunshot wound of the head. The entrance was on the right side of the head. And there was a gunshot wound of the chest, which with the entrance on the left side of the chest.
I am going to first show you Commonwealth 13, and I'd ask that to be displayed to the witness and counsel only at this point. And Judge, as we described these photos are sealed.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Do you recognize this photo?
I do.
And how do you recognize it?
It's a photograph from autopsy that has the ruler with the case number N2023-00363 on it.
And what does the image depict?
It is a right profile view of Mr. Ryan's head.
And is it a true and accurate depiction of the wound as you saw it when you performed Joe Ryan's autopsy?
Yes.
Judge, I'd ask to admit this as Commonwealth 13 and publish it to the jury.
Any objections?
All right,
13 under seal to the jury.
They only got 2 kids?
Can you tell the jury what is meant by the terms entry wound and exit wound as it pertains to a wound caused by a bullet?
An entrance wound is where a bullet enters the body. An exit wound is where it might exit the body and leave the body.
And were you able to tell if this wound to Joe Ryan's head was an entry or an exit wound?
Yes.
How can you tell that this bullet was an entry wound?
It's an entrance wound. It has a characteristic round appearance with an abrasion to the edges of it. And also, there is no exit. A bullet was recovered from the wound path within his head.
And what means, if any, exists that would inform a medical examiner's determinations regarding the distance from which a person had been shot?
When a gun is fired, not just does the bullet leave the muzzle.
How you doing?
Soot, dirt, debris. There is burning gunpowder flakes that are leaving the muzzle as well. And if the gun's fired close enough to the person, the skin, it can be deposited and cause some characteristic injuries on the skin. If it's fired from farther away, those particles are light enough that they kind of drop out and they don't leave any evidence.
Were you able to make any determinations about the physical distance between Joe and the person who shot him from your examination of this head wound?
Based on this examination, the distance is indeterminate. There's no evidence of soot or stippling on the skin of the wound.
And in relation to where the entry wound is located, can you tell us where and how the bullet traveled after entering Joe's head?
The bullet entered the skin on the right side of the head, injured muscles of soft tissue, the skull, the facial bones, the bones around the right eye, and the left cheek, and caused fractures of the base of the skull, bleeding on the brain.
Damn.
And it traveled from right to left,
That's crazy.
back to front to back, and downward.
Right to left, front to
And
back.
given the
downward?
path of travel of the
God.
bullet through those
Well,
areas,
that bullet went everywhere.
which of Joe's bodily functions might have been impacted or would have been impacted, and how?
It is causing, the wound path caused bleeding on the brain, which is an injury of the brain. It impacted his eye. He can no longer see, he has no eye. There's evidence that there was breathing of blood, hemoaspiration, and swallowing of blood.
And what if any effect would you expect this injury to have on a person's ability to see, speak, or make vocal sounds?
So the injury, the gunshot wound path injures the right eye. The left eye is still intact. He could see, potentially. To be able to speak or make noises, the injury is not of his larynx where the vocal cords are, where the sounds are generated, so potentially could still make noises. There's no physical injury of that area.
And in the course of your work as a medical examiner, are you able to quantify in terms of time the speed at which a bullet wound would be able to kill someone?
Sometimes.
And can you describe those temporal differences? How you would describe them?
There are times when I can say a wound is immediately or instantly fatal, and that's typically when it's an injury that disconnects the brainstem and the head, ceasing breathing and heart functions. This wound is still intact. This wound is considered rapidly fatal, meaning seconds to minutes, injuring vital structures of the body with some survival.
And given that you found no exit wound caused by this bullet, were you able to locate the bullet, and where was it?
Yes, a bullet fragment was recovered from the left cheek, just in front of the left ear, and bullet fragments were also recovered through the wound path in the head.
And what did you do upon locating this item in Joe's head?
The bullet fragments were photographed, placed into a bag, and sealed and transferred to police.
And at this point, I'm going to retrieve Commonwealth's Exhibit 14.
Crazy, crazy, crazy.
I'm going to pass out if I could.
Hey, blue-eyed female, thank you for being a member for 26 months. Blue-eyed female, I appreciate that. Good luck to San Francisco next week. Run that shit.
What I'm identifying as Commonwealth 14.
Thank you.
And I'm going to ask if you're familiar with that exhibit.
Yes, I am.
And how are you familiar with it?
It is a bag containing my bag, which I sealed, and that bag contains a note card labeled fragments, my signature, as well as the fragments.
And is it
Brian P., how did they get a stomach cancer, bro? And why do you have internal hemorrhoids? What's wrong with you? What do you be doing over there in your house, man? What the fuck do you eat, bro?
this exhibit in the same or substantially similar condition beyond the packaging?
That sounds serious to me.
As when you removed those from Joe's head during the autopsy.
It is.
And Judge, at this point, I'd ask to admit and publish Exhibit 14.
Any objection?
Judge, we'll just leave it there at this point in time because I'm going to move on to a few. What's been marked as Commonwealth Exhibit 15, photograph, and I'd ask for this to be displayed to the witness and counsel only. Can you see the photograph?
Yes.
Can you tell us what this image depicts?
It's a photograph after Mr. Ryan has been cleaned up from his head down to his torso.
And how do you recognize it?
It also has the ruler with the case number.
And is this a true and accurate depiction of this chest wound as you performed Joe Ryan's autopsy?
Yes.
Judge, at this point, I'd ask the court to admit this as Commonwealth's 15, and this can be published to the jury.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, 15 under seal and to the jury.
And was there any evidence present that would have helped you determine the distance between this injury and the firearm that inflicted it?
There was no visible soot or stippling on the skin around this wound.
And when you examined his clothing, the clothing that was present, did you find any defects in that clothing?
He's too mean, blue-eyed female. One jury matters to meanie.
That he was wearing when you began your exam?
Yes, there was a hole in the left side, the front side of the shirt.
Okay. I am going to show you Commonwealth's 17, 18, and 19, their photographs. I'm going to ask for them to be displayed to the witness and counsel only at first. This is 17, 18, and 19. Do you recognize these photographs?
Yes.
And how do you recognize them?
They are photographs of the shirt, the first of which had the ruler.
We need more serious.
And is this this shirt that you removed from Joe Ryan during his autopsy?
It is.
And are they all true and accurate depictions of the shirt as you saw it during the autopsy?
It is.
Judge, at this point, I'd ask the court to admit as Commonwealth 17, 18, and 19 the photographs of the shirt and then allow them to be published to the jury.
You want them under seal? So,
Judge, I don't think that these need to be under seal. There's nothing. Yeah.
She likes you, Kat. She's trying to get your number. That's why she's tagging you.
okay, that's fine. Any objection? No, sure. All right, 17, 18, 19.
So first showing 17, 18, and 19. And if we could terminate the view to the gallery at this point.
Yes, thank you.
I am going to show you Commonwealth's Exhibit 20, which is another photograph. And I'm going to ask for it to be displayed to the witness and counsel only. Can you see the photograph?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recognize this photo?
Yes.
And how do you recognize it?
It has the ruler with the case number and is a photograph of the middle section of Mr. Ryan's body before the clothing and medical intervention has been removed.
And
who's not playing? Who's not playing this weekend? One matters.
Is it a true and accurate depiction as you saw this view during the autopsy?
Yes.
And at this point, Judge, what I'd ask the court to do is admit Commonwealth's Exhibit 20, and I'd ask for this to be sealed.
All right, any objection?
No objection.
All right, 20 under seal, thank you.
And then you said before medical interventions were removed. Can you describe the medical interventions?
As seen in this photograph, there are two EKG electrodes on the lower portion of the abdomen.
Yeah, see, we're playing Saturday night one Jim, man. What are you talking about, bro?
You can see one on the arm. There's also a chest seal, which is an adhesive seal over the gunshot wound on the left side of the chest.
And the chest wound, is the chest wound an entry wound or an exit wound?
An entrance wound.
And how do we know this?
It is round, has an abrasion, and a bullet is recovered from the body.
In relation to where the entry wound is located, can you tell us where and how the bullet traveled after it entered Joe's chest?
The bullet injures the skin, soft tissue, and the muscle, the rib cage, the pericardium, which is the sac that the heart resides in, the heart, the aorta, which is a major blood vessel coming off of the heart, and the outside of the esophagus, which is the food tube to the stomach, and the T8 spine. The bullet traveled from left to right, front to back, and upward.
And given the path of travel of the bullet through these areas of Joe's chest and his upper
Blue-eyed female. Kat does not know how to give love to women, so don't worry.
body, can you tell us which of Joe's bodily functions would have been impacted and how?
The injury of the rib cage will impact breathing. Rib cage
He's a gay man, blue-eyed female. He's gay.
is needed for breathing. The injury of the pericardium in the heart puts a hole in the heart, so therefore it is now bleeding, leaking blood, and no longer pumping blood to the body effectively. There are holes in the aorta, which is a major blood vessel carrying blood, so now it is also bleeding. And there is injury of the T8 spines, the actual bone that the spinal cord is in, and the spinal cord itself is markedly softened, contusion, and bleeding around it, so it is also injured.
Gay.
And given that you were, that there's no exit wound.
I'm getting off in 10 minutes, guys. It's almost 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I got to work in the morning. It's Friday, though, but still, got to go to bed.
That we've seen, were you able to locate this bullet?
Yes.
And what did you do upon locating the bullet?
It was removed and photographed and sealed and transferred to police.
Do you recall where in the body it was removed from?
It was removed from the T8 spine.
And at this point, I'm going to show you what's been marked, what I will identify as Commonwealth's Exhibit 21. Are you familiar with that exhibit?
I am.
And how are you familiar with it?
It is the bullet with the labeled card, bullet chest with my signature inside the sealed bag, which I sealed and initialed.
And is it in the same or substantially similar condition as it was when you removed it from Joe's body during the autopsy? And Judge, at this point, what I'd ask the court to do is admit this as Commonwealth's Exhibit 21.
Any objection? 21.
And Judge, if we could just simply allow the jury to see the exhibits, I can walk.
Did you want to do it with the document camera or?
I was just going to walk them around, or not.
I prefer the document camera if you could, it'd just be easier, but if you're concerned about it. You want to get into better. You just have to touch the top button. There you go.
it over?
Privacy
Bed.
screens are making it difficult.
Bedtime.
As I previously said, the bullet traveled through the heart.
Anything about this structure and its injuries that was significant?
As I previously said, the bullet traveled through the heart. So now the heart is leaking, bleeding, and is no longer able to effectively pump blood.
And are you able to make any determination about his condition when that bullet injured his heart?
There was 1,200 milliliters of blood in the left side of the left chest cavity, which is 1.2 liters. So with a hole in the heart, some blood will leak passively out. However, to get 1.2 liters of blood into the left chest cavity, there has to be some sort of a pulse, indicating there is some survival for at least an amount of time.
And regarding the blood that was on Joe's face, did either the head wound or the chest wound result in that amount of blood on his face?
There's a gunshot wound to the right side of his head, and as is, when I received his body, there was blood from his nose, ears, and mouth. And that injury of the gunshot wound to the head injured the skull and the facial bones, which injured the sinus cavities and the airways. So it can result in blood coming out of the ears, nose, and mouth and onto the face.
And do you have a reasonable opinion within a reasonable degree of medical certainty as to the cause and manner of death of Joe Ryan?
Yes.
And what are they?
The cause of death is multiple gunshot wounds, and the manner is homicide.
Now I'd like to turn to the autopsy of Christine Banfield. Were you able to determine, I'll give you a moment to get situated. Were you able to determine, was she clothed when you examined her?
She was partially clothed with socks.
And did she have anything else on her person other than clothing?
Yes, there were glasses on the top of her head and her hair. She had a necklace around her neck. She had earrings in her earlobes, and she had 2 rings on her left fourth finger.
And were you able to determine her height and weight?
Yes.
After documenting her weight, her socks, jewelry, and glasses, what did you do with the items?
The personal effects were photographed and packaged and transferred to law enforcement.
I'm going to show you a photograph that I'm going to identify as Commonwealth's Exhibit 50 report in the section titled Evidence of Injury.
Go sleep.
And
It's over? Wait, what happened? Wait, sorry. Oh, where was I? I lost my spot, guys. I fell asleep. Damn. Oh, I got it. I found it.
And Judge, if we could display Commonwealth's Exhibit 11 to the jury.
They're seeing it.
Okay. Some of the wounds as cutting wounds and some of the wounds as stab wounds. Can you describe the difference for us, please?
By definition, both wounds are sharp force injuries, so some injuries that are caused by something sharp, like a knife. Stab wounds, by definition, are deeper than they are long on the skin, and cutting wounds are longer on the surface of the skin than they go deep.
And I am going to show you a series of photographs at this point, and if I could have the view now be to counsel and the witness only for this portion. I'm going to show you a number of photos that I'm going to identify by number as I move through them, and just ask you to look at them at this point. I've got Commonwealth's 22, Commonwealth's 23, Commonwealth's 24, Commonwealth's 25, Commonwealth's 27, Commonwealth's 28, 29,
Did you keep the stream
30,
up?
31,
Did I keep the stream up?
32,
Yeah,
33,
the stream is still up.
34,
I'm about to fall asleep though, guys.
35, 36, 37, 38, 39.
It should be 39 and
Sorry,
40.
sorry, not 38, 39,
41,
not 38, 39, 40,
4,
41, 42, 43, 44, 45,
the
46.
next witness is the next witness we're gonna do tomorrow, obviously, is the state witness. This Julianne, a woman, Julianne. That's a long one. It's like is that a ex-boyfriend or girlfriend? It's like 2 hours long. Yeah, she's 2 hours long. That girl tomorrow. All right.
And then I'm going to talk about them and display
All right.
them.
Any
May we
objection?
approach?
Yes.
22 and 23. Can you describe where on Christine's body the stab wound appeared?
This is the left side of her neck, and it's a stab wound that's horizontally oriented on the left side of her neck with a cutting wound extending from the superior, which is the top aspect of the stab wound on the left side of her neck.
And going forward to 24 and 25, can you describe where on Christine's body this area multiple stab wounds appeared?
Yes, this is the left side of her face and neck, or, I'm sorry, the right side of her face and neck. There are multiple stab wounds and cutting wounds in this photograph. There is a vertical stab wound depicted as letter C on my autopsy report, which injures muscle and goes to the bottom of her skull and causes a fractured notched defect. There are 3 stab wounds on the left side of her neck that you can also see in this photograph. They're closely oriented on the skin. The wound paths commingle, meaning overlap underneath the skin and the muscle in her neck. And they injure the left jugular vein, which is a major vein in the neck, the right carotid artery, and the larynx, which is the breathing tube, the epiglottis, the esophagus. There is a stab wound at the anterior aspect as well, kind of towards the front of her face with a cutting wound, as well as an abrasion present in this photograph.
And can you describe the various depths of the wounds that we see here?
The wounds range from a quarter of an inch deep to up to 2.5 inches deep.
And what means or observations, given your training and experience, informed your conclusions regarding the number of stab wounds on the side of Christine's neck?
In terms of the number, I counted. And for the ones that are very closely oriented beside each other, I use my training and experience to realize.
Come on, bro. What, I fucked up again?
Was there one person that was?
That means inside the stomach.
And does the amount of bloody fluid have any significance?
There was 50 milliliters of blood in the stomach, so that's some can travel passively, but that's how much was present in the stomach.
And do you have a reasonable opinion within a reasonable degree of medical certainty as to the cause and manner of the death of Christine? When you examined her respiratory system during the autopsy, what, if anything, did you find?
There's evidence of hemoaspiration, breathing of blood into the lungs, and swallowing of blood into the stomach, indicating she's alive.
And when you examined her gastrointestinal tract, what, if anything, did you find?
There's blood in her stomach from swallowing.
What is the significance of finding blood in the area where you found it?
It's from the injury of the upper airway and the esophagus, so the breathing tube and the food tube in the neck, and that blood is traveling down into the lungs and down into the stomach.
And I noted that the location was listed as the lumen. What does that mean?
That means inside the stomach.
And does the amount of bloody fluid have any significance?
There was 50 milliliters of blood in the stomach, so that's some can travel passively, but that's how much was present in the stomach.
And do you have a reasonable opinion within a reasonable degree of medical certainty as to the cause and manner of the death of Christine Banfield?
Yes.
And what is that?
And the cause of death is multiple sharp force injuries, and the manner of death is homicide.
I don't have any further questions for you. Mr. Carroll is going to have some questions for you.
Sharp. I don't understand that. A sharp
cross-examination?
item?
Yes,
I
thank
don't
you,
know.
Your Honor. Good afternoon, Dr. Kessler.
Hello.
How are you? Sorry, I just need to get my act together a little bit, Judge. Dr. Kessler, looking at Joe Ryan's autopsy that you performed, there were injuries on one of his hands. I think we talked about it when we were in person. Do you recall discussing that?
Yes.
And what's the nature of those injuries?
There's, on his left thumb, there's a bruise on the back side of it. There's a bruise on the palm side of the thumb with a cut or a puncture.
I'm sorry, what was the last part?
On the palm of the left thumb,
Okay.
there's a bruise with a cut, puncture injury.
Okay. And would that be consistent with the knife that you've viewed?
It could be.
Now, was there any sort of discussion as to toxicology with regard to Mr. Ryan? Did you do any sort of testing regarding that?
Yes, toxicology was completed.
And what, if anything, came out from his system at that time?
The toxicology was positive for THC, carboxylic acid, 11-hydroxy tetrahydrocannabinol, and was inconclusive for tetrahydrocannabinol in the blood.
In the blood?
Yes.
Okay. And so what would that breakdown of what you just testified to, what would that indicate to you?
Those are typically components of marijuana. However, I defer further questions regarding the toxicology to the toxicologist.
Okay. Would it be, well, then I don't want to put you on the spot and say anything about that. I won't ask that question. And tetrahydrocannabinol is either marijuana or a byproduct of marijuana, correct?
Perhaps.
Okay.
I woke up
going within your bounds to be able to say that there was marijuana smoked prior to this time when they ended up in the Banfield house?
Why no court tomorrow?
I can't say that.
Okay. But it was evident in the toxicology?
It's in the blood.
Okay. Now,
I'm gonna finish this guy. Guys, I'm gonna finish this guy tomorrow. I'm too sleepy, man. I can't stay up anymore. I'm sleepy. I am sleepy. I need to go to bed. Right, Scully? Yeah, go to bed, man. I'm sleepy. I'm sleepy, guy. I gotta go to bed, man. I'm sorry. I'll be back tomorrow night at midnight. We can push on all night long and the next day and Saturday as well. The jury is to the right from the way. The witness sees the jury, the judge, then the galley. What? What are you talking about? Have a good night, John B. Thank you for hanging out, John B. Thank you for modding. Great job on the stream. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ray Ray. Have a good night, sweetheart. Good night. Good night, Ray Ray. This is Scully. What nice shit. Thanks, Scully. You're welcome. Everybody, Cat Randall, Sean B, One Jury Matters. Good night. Jenny Ham Sandwich, good night. Everybody in the chat room, good night. I'm sorry, I gotta go to bed. I'm sleepy as hell, man. Porosity, good night, Porosity. You're welcome, Jenny. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry, I'm just really sleepy. I gotta go work. I gotta go to bed. Wild Dog, good night. Thank you for hanging out. Falcon, thank you. Angel Eyes, good night. I'm gonna save this video for tomorrow. Yeah, so much stuff here. That's at home, man. What do you have? What is in the basement? 100 skeletons in the basement? Jonathan Gerlach allegedly had skulls displayed in his basement and remains in various states of decay. Wow. That's kind of creepy. Wow. I'll show you tomorrow. I'll show you the model, man. I love you guys. You're welcome, Wonder Man. Shout out Jenny Ham, my cat, and Wave. Bye, guys. Hasta mañana. Run that shit. Bye. Sorry, I'm sleepy. I gotta go. I gotta go. Where's my videos, man? Where my videos at? Where my videos at, bro? Where my videos at, bro? Where my videos at? Where my videos? What? Where my videos at? My videos are gone. I can't find my video. Where is my video? I don't know. Forget about it. I'm just gonna put the music on. That's it. Open with this. Bye.
She was young. She was beautiful. She was chasing her dreams. She was excited. She was hopeful. She was in love. She wanted a partner. She wanted support. She wanted to be cherished. She trusted him. She was anxious. She was overwhelmed. She took responsibility. She was scared. She was manipulated. She was abused. She didn't deserve this ending. She didn't deserve the abuse. I will say her name. I will share her story. I will spread awareness. And I will use my voice because hers was silenced.
Read it, girl.
Her life was stolen, but her legacy will live.
Read it.
Yelling at the sky, screaming at the world. Baby, why'd you go away? I'm still your girl. Holding on too tight, head up in the clouds. Heaven only knows where you are now. How do I love again? How do I trust again? I stay up all night, tell myself I'm alright. Baby, you're just harder to see than most. I put the record on, wait till I hear our song. Every night I'm dancing with your ghost. Every night I'm dancing with your ghost. Never got the chance to say your last goodbye. I gotta move on, but it hurts to try. How do I love again? How do I trust again? I stay up all night, tell myself I'm alright. Baby, you're just harder to see than most.
Porque recuerden que un video no se puede estar bello por mañana o excelente. Y ahora, 16 del 12.
With your ghost. Every night I'm dancing with your ghost. How do I love again? How do I I trust? How do I trust again? I stay up all night, tell myself I'm alright. Baby, you're just harder to see than most. I put the record on, wait till I hear our song. Every night I'm dancing with you. Every night I'm dancing with your ghost. Every night I'm dancing with your ghost.
Her blonde hair fell around her like a halo. She was an upstate New York angel without wings. Her smile shone brighter than a morning sunrise. Her laughter put the songbird's voice to shame. When you see a butterfly or a weeping willow tree, or a rainbow, or a wildflower on a grassy mountain peak, she's home with Mother Nature, yes she is. In the heaven on this earth, that's where she lives. That's where she lives, that's where she lives. That's where she lives. That's where she lives.
Guys, for me, it's how nice you are for me. Oh my gosh, it's how much you make me laugh. It's how hard you always laugh for me. Okay, wait, go. It's you're really friend.
Shit, he got. Oh shit. Oh, stop. Yeah. Okay. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh. Damn. You don't let up. Hold on. You don't let up.
Hi, babe.